Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. So my daughter is now on her second day of school, and she's dying, and I'm listening to her problems, and I realized what it was. I said, do you know what you're experiencing? And she's like, no! I said, your home environment where she's been living for the last 3 months is absolutely a solid perspective 8, perspective 9 environment. But when you go back to school, you are walking into a perspective 4 environment. And she went, oh my God, I see it. It's everywhere. And she's now hysterical. She's breaking it down, like pointing out all of the stupidity of the patriarchy and of the matrix and the ludicrous rules. And she's describing the obsession with the yellow folder. What the fuck is up with that? Like, really? So this is this moment where this is where I really wish I was in Anna's lounge, because I want to sit back, smoke some weed, and just talk to you. And I'm going to. When I do Anna's lounge, this is going to come up over and over again. What is with the yellow folder obsession? The teachers, and I know what it is. It's absolutely fourth perspective obsessing over their rules. And it reminded me, and we were comparing, and I'm like, you understand what this is? They have to have their rules because they're projecting their insecurity onto you. And they've got 30 kids that they're trying to manage, but they can't even manage themselves. So they have to project their insecurity onto you. The teacher she is specifically referring to is near retirement age, which puts her in the older generation. And she's you know the type, that old miserable baby boomer 1940s person who's just miserable and hates the world, and they delight in the day when they could beat children. You know the type I'm talking about. I had so many. This is so new. Millennials, this is foreign to millennials. I don't think millennials have any clue. We're going to see this die out with the next generation. Gen Zs, well, my daughter's a Gen Z. But the alpha generations are never going to see this. It's that teacher that was allowed to beat children. And they delight in telling you stories about when I was your age, I could beat the children. And so you lived in fear in the 80s and the 90s of your teachers beating you. And I remember the horror stories that were told from the paddle, the board in the principal's office that he used to spank children. And it was like the ultimate scare tactic. And this was normal. And I've been so separated it for so long now that I'm like, oh my God, do you remember when adults would brag about how they would beat their children? Do you remember those time periods? And we talked about the different folder colors and making sure that the rules are what they are. And she's telling me, you know what I've noticed is the kids who are considered the outcasts are the kids who can see the matrix. Yes. She goes, oh my God, I can see the matrix. Yes, there it is. There it is. Yes. And she's like, so it's the group I'm hanging out with now. We're all in the same perspective going, oh my God, what's going on? We don't understand it, because they're outside of the matrix and they're being forced to converse with the matrix, and they don't know how to function because when they're home, they're not in the matrix. So she's starting to recognize her own perspectives. So she knows who can see eye to eye with her. That's what a click is. A click is when you find your own perspectives. You know that popular girl clique in school? You want to know what perspectives those were? 2s. They were 2 perspectives. That's the magic perfume you all had. I remember watching a Dr. Quinn episode when I was a kid. And one of the girls that was Dr. Quinn's daughter was crying because they had cliques. And she goes, I don't understand. And the mother, all she could say is, it's like this. Imagine everyone has a certain perfume and you just don't have the same perfume. So they don't recognize you. And I'm now looking back at it going, that is the best explanation I've ever heard of someone describing a perspective without knowing a perspective. And that was exactly it. Our perspectives are like perfumes on all of us. And we can smell them on each other. We just know. We recognize our own kind when we see it. So when you have someone that you vibe with, that you're just drawn to, the athletic kids in school, the really popular athletic kids, perspective fours. They love the competition. Those were all the fours handing out. The nerd group. The nerd group was perspective 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, yeah. Those are my people. That's right. And then you had the insecure ones that didn't quite know where to go. They needed help. So they kind of went around all over the place and clung to whoever would take them. Those are your first perspectives. They were incapable because they never learned how to comfort themselves. So they gravitated to whichever group would accept them until eventually making their way to our group, the 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s group. The 9s were those ones who were into the ethereal and the incense burning. Those were your 6s. And then they were also the ones to sit down and contemplate life, the universe, and everything, and what else is out there. And then the 6, 7s, 8s, 9s went on to become scientists. They went on to become scientists. Meanwhile, perspective 3s were the bullies of the school. They were the ones who beat everybody up and stole your milk money. Welcome to perspective 3. Yep. Perspective 5 were the ones who always had great idea to change things, but they ran for school president, or they were like leader of the chess club. Those were your perspective 5s. They wanted to be entrepreneurs. They wanted to be leaders, but they didn't want too much change to happen. Now then you had the kids who were all about recycling and saving the earth. Welcome to your 6 perspectives. So this is high school as all the perspectives. Now, the beautiful thing with children is because children are children, they are closer to the God self, so they can suspect this and feel it more. So they naturally gravitate a lot more than any other age group. Children are naturally drawn to this. So when we're in high school, when we are at our finest, we're able to see it, where they can just gravitate and pull toward each other. It's absolutely astronomical to watch. It's extraordinary. So yeah, my daughter is of the 7th she's outside of the matrix. So she's starting to see the group, and she can see the different 2s cleaning together, the 3s cleaning together, the 4s cleaning together. It's absolutely an extraordinary, just the way it spills all over. So, and I didn't even get to duck and cover. Duck and cover. It was just one of those moments where, do you remember when they were in school and they had us do duck and cover? Boys on one side, girls on the other, which was ridiculous. But then what was even more ridiculous is the reason why we were told that. We were told that in all seriousness because it would be easier for them to sort the bodies. That is so not true. No, there would be no bodies. The reason why they had us separate boys from girls is because it was a matter of feeling in control in a horrifically out of control environment. So the 4th perspectives came up with a very simple, let's feel in control. So they projected their lack of control onto sorting people into categories. So it was just the teachers feeling insecure in a really scary time. They were using you as a boy standing on one side and girl on the other to make themselves feel safe. That was their attempt at self-comfort. That's all that was. If you love shit like this, like, comment, subscribe, let me know which part of the video resonated with you, and help the garden grow. Donate below. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.